Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today I'm going to explain the movie Tale of Tales, released in the year 2015. The movie centers around the king and queen of a kingdom named Long Trellis. At first it seems as if the couple is living a happy life, but later we get to know that the queen is suffering from a rare medical condition which will never allow her to become a mother. Because of this, the queen is always upset. Seeing his wife in this state, the king summons the best doctors and physicians from all around the realm, but sadly none of them are able to diagnose the mysterious illness within her. Despite this, the king tries his best to cheer up his queen. One day he invites some circus performers to the palace. Suddenly the queen notices that one of the circus performers is expecting a child. As a result, she becomes envious and starts smashing things after entering her chamber. When the king finds out about this, he pays a visit to her room and vows to go to any extent to solve her problem. Late at night, a strange necromancer arrives at the castle claiming that he can solve the queen's pregnancy problem. Hearing this, the king reminds him that many people have tried in the past and failed. However, the necromancer is adamant that the queen can bear a baby, but it depends on how far the king is willing to go for his queen. The king responds to the last extent, and the necromancer reveals that he has years of experience and knows a lot about nature. Furthermore, he says that nature must always be in balance, and that if the king desires a life, he must also sacrifice one. Despite his weird claims, the king and queen give him their full support. After this, the necromancer begins describing the process. He said the king will have to capture a sea monster whose heart will prepare by a pure and unmarried woman for the queen to eat. In this way, the necromancer assures that the queen will become pregnant. Hearing this, the king immediately agrees to hunt down the sea monster and begins the preparations. The following day, the king sets out on his mission and finds the creature in one of the rivers. When the monster is sleeping, the king walks into the ocean and attacks it. He's eventually successful in slaying the beast, but gets critically injured in the struggle. Soon he succumbs to his injuries, but before he does, he removes the creature's heart. The queen then returns to the castle, covering the heart with a cloth. Later, a maid at the castle is found to be unmarried and pure. As a result, she's tasked with preparing the heart. While cooking, she experiences strange sensations and suddenly becomes pregnant. Soon the queen consumes the heart and finally she becomes pregnant. In the next scene, the maid and the queen gave birth to their children at the same time, and the boys look to be the same age. The queen's son is named Elias, whereas the maid's son was named Jonah. The movie then fast forwards to 16 years where the children have now become adults. The queen is living a happy life with her son Elias, as she thinks that she's been given a second chance at life. However, the two children who were born on the same day and look like twins are not typical children, as the sea monster is represented by the white tone of their hair. They have a strong friendship and are extremely close to each other. The queen, on the other hand, despises their friendship, and she informs her son that as a prince he is not permitted to be friends with the maid's son Jonah. Despite this, Elias ignores his mother and continues to meet with Jonah. Later, we also get to know that the kids have the unique capacity to breathe underwater. In the next scene, the queen threatens her maid that if she doesn't prevent her son from beating Elias, she and her kid will be expelled from the country. Nonetheless, the two seem unconcerned and meet on a regular basis. They cross the line one day when Jonah wears Elias's clothing and goes to the queen. When she discovers the truth, she chooses to exile Jonah from the kingdom. Elias makes an attempt to stop him but fails in the process. Jonah then cuts off a tree with his knife and water starts to flow from there. He tells Elias that as long as the water is clean, he should know that he's alive, and as soon as it becomes red, he should understand that Jonah's life is in jeopardy. And after saying that, he walks away. Elias checks the water regularly to see if it has turned red every day. One day the water turns red and he realizes that something is wrong. So in order to find Jonah, he leaves the kingdom without notifying his mother. After a long search, Elias finally reaches Jonah's house and discovers that Jonah has married a young woman. The people there identify him as Jonah since they share the same facial features. Then he learns that Jonah had gone to the forest 5 days ago and has not returned since. Elias then goes out in search of Jonah while the queen grows more concerned about him. Now she left with no options but approaches the necromancer again. This time he asks the same thing, that if she wants her kid to return, she must make a life sacrifice, which the queen immediately accepts this proposal. Elsewhere, Jonah is seen injured inside a cave. A flying creature then strikes and attempts to kill him. After hearing his scream, Elias locates Jonah and terminates the creature with his sword. However, Elias is unaware that the creature is none other than his own mother. But that's what was agreed upon life for life. In the final scene, Elias ascends to the throne of the kingdom and the story ends. Welcome back to Movie Recap.